Now, for more, let's speak to March and March leader, Jacinta Ngobese-Zuma, who's joining us now. Very good evening to you, Jacinta. Thank you so much for your time and for joining us this evening. So the streets of Durban were completely blockaded. We saw that march in full support, not only for the Dlamini twins, but also for a young lady who lost her life in 2023 at the same block of flats. Just talk to us with regards to March and March and why you found it important today to organize this protest.
Thank you so much, Katlego, and thank you for the opportunity. I think for us it was very important to heed the call after we realized that Mr. Dlamini had been on social media, because when I first saw his story, I thought it was something that was going to be resolved. And you know, I had already seen it, that it was already trending, and I thought it was something that was going to be taken head on by the police and the municipality and some of our leaders. But then when the next day went on and the next day, I started realizing that nothing is being done about this. So I asked for his number. I reached out to him and I asked him if we can march to make an impact with regards to what is going on to him with him and his family on the very next day, which was a Saturday. And he informed me that unfortunately on Saturday we can't march because he was laying his son to rest, which was very sad for us. And then we spoke and we decided that, okay, the best way is maybe to set a march for Monday. I posted about it on social media and immediately it got traction. And as you can see, people came out in numbers. Then there were other organizations that came forward and wanted to support, which was very important. I think this march was so important because it speaks of the many things that as March and March we keep on emphasizing when it comes to lawlessness, when it comes to making sure that certain things are upheld, like municipal bylaws, and making sure that people who are tasked with a certain job are going out there and doing it for the sake of South Africans.
Yeah, I mean, sadly, today is also the birthday of the twins, I believe. As you mentioned, that the little boy was laid to rest on Saturday and the little girl is still fighting for her life in hospital. Have you had any conversations with the management of Homie on behalf of the Dlamini family just to get their account or any kind of accountability with regards to this incident?
Yeah, we did actually. So when we marched, we went to the building that is Homie Lifestyle where the incident happened. But unfortunately, the management didn't come out to meet with us. But we did find out that the management is actually just down the road on Commercial Street, which is where we then proceeded to meet with them and demand to get answers. And that is when they came out and signed a memorandum which was drafted. And that memorandum had some of the things that we were demanding, which included the footage that Mr. Dlamini had been complaining about, that he just wants to see what happened so that he can get that closure. And he hadn't received that. He hadn't received anything. In fact, he was just telling us that he received a teddy bear and a couple of groceries, and that was all that he got, and some statements that was issued. So we are hoping that as management, they will do better in making sure that they help him with the things that he needs, ensuring that he knows and gets closure about how the children pass away. But more than that, we're calling on for the police to make sure that this case is attended to, and the children that passed away, the child that passed away, not just one actually, I was correct to say children, because Andiswa passed away in 2023, and her mother also came as well to say that she'd never received justice for her daughter. So we want Homie Lifestyle managers to come forward and tell us really what is going on, because from what we're hearing that the owner of the building is someone who is feared and who is known, who has money and is wealthy. And I'm saying that that can't be the way that we operate, that people who have money and people who have access to people and things get away with things just because they know certain people. So for us, that really cannot be the way that we operate. And these lives were very precious to the families. So the families do deserve to get that justice and closure.
I mean, you make mention of Andiswa, who lost her life in 2023, her mother saying that she never received answers or any justice. Are there similarities with regards to the deaths of the Dlamini twin and Andiswa? And do these speak to maybe the maintenance of the building just from looking at it at front view?
Definitely they do, because Andiswa was actually going to visit a friend. She doesn't even live in that building. So when she passed away, her mother was not even expecting for her to be at that building. So it was a very tragic incident. And 2 years later, still nothing has been done. She's been going in and out of court. She brought her lawyers there as well to kind of share that this is what they've been trying to do. And there's been no progress. So it's something that we feel is not just happening in that one building. It's what we consistently say as much and much, that those buildings in and around eThekwini have been hijacked. Some of them, the maintenance of them is poor. The people living there are shady. Some of the activities that are going on there are not activities that should be going on. And nobody is monitoring this. And this is why we're saying there needs to be a thorough check and cleansing of those buildings and making sure that they're safe, they're compliant, they're livable, and they are with the people that they should be with, and they are not carrying out illegal activities.
And I mean, this is a privately owned building, but has the city in any way come forward to give maybe their account in terms of what has taken place and who they might need to hold accountable should these investigations lead to that?
Unfortunately, we haven't had any response from the city. We did make a couple of calls for the municipality to come forward, because we know that it's their responsibility to ensure that municipal bylaws and laws when it comes to buildings are applied to. And we haven't received any response, which is quite disappointing for us. But we are hoping that maybe we will get some sort of feedback, because I know that even with Mr. Dlamini, he's been reaching out to try and get who the owner of the building is, which is something that has been so elusive for some reason. But we are hearing as a name, a particular name of a particular individual that has been doing rounds, and this particular individual is apparently influential, which is why I'm not going to divulge the name, because I haven't verified it, so I don't want to put myself in that position. But as a city, I mean, it is their responsibility to make sure that these buildings are livable, and if they're not, you shut it down.
All right, Jacinta Ngobese, thank you so much for your time this evening and for joining us. It certainly is appreciated. That's the March and March leader, Jacinta Ngobese-Zuma, speaking to us there about the 7-year-old twins that fell down that lift shaft at Homie Building in KZN.